Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am going to discuss the truth about motivation. So let me ask you something. How many times have you said, I just need to get motivated? Maybe it was before the gym, before starting a new habit, before working on a side project you've been putting off for months. You tell yourself, once I feel motivated, then I'll start. And you wait and wait. And maybe that spark never shows up. We act like motivation is this magical thing that's just gonna appear out of nowhere. Like we'll be hit with lightning and suddenly feel unstoppable. But here's what I've learned. Motivation isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. And here's what people get wrong about motivation. Most people have motivation backwards. They think it's the starting point, that they need to be motivated before they take action. But here's the truth, and it's like I said in the last chapter in my video on action. And motivation doesn't lead to action. Action leads to motivation. Let that sink in for a second. You don't suddenly feel inspired and then go do the hard thing. You do the hard thing and then you start to feel inspired. Excuse me. The pollen's acting up. You go to the gym when you don't feel like it. And by the end of the workout, you feel amazing. You start writing that email you've been putting off, and by paragraph 2, the words just start to flow. You make that uncomfortable phone call, and once it's done, you feel lighter. That feeling didn't come before, it came after. That's why I have that personal mantra that I mentioned last week. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. And I'll keep saying it too. It's the words to live by. Because that one line has changed everything for me. Because now I don't wait till I feel ready. I just move. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm stressed, even if I'm uncertain. Because where real motivation comes from, it comes from motion, it comes from action. And so if motivation doesn't come first, where does it come from? It comes from progress, from forward movement, from keeping promises to yourself, even small ones. When you see yourself following through, showing up, being consistent, that's where confidence starts to build. That's where self-respect grows. And from that, real motivation. Because now you're not just hoping or wishing, you're building proof. Proof that you're capable. Proof that you can do hard things. Motivation isn't something that happens to you. It's something you earn through discipline, consistency, and momentum. It's like lighting a fire. You don't wait for it to appear. You gather wood, you strike the match, you keep feeding it. That's motivation. Just like a fire, if you stop feeding it, it dies. Let's talk about hype for a second. We all love that rush of energy after a motivational video or an inspiring quote on Instagram. It feels good, it feels powerful for about 30 minutes. But hype fades. Discipline is what stays. And I'm going to dive deeper into discipline in my next video, but I'm going to touch on it for a second because it's relevant when we're talking about motivation and hype. Because discipline is the backbone of real motivation. Because discipline is there on days that you don't feel hyped. It's there when you're tired. It's there when no one's clapping. It's there when results are slow. Motivated people don't always feel like doing the work. They just do it anyway because they've trained themselves to move even without the fireworks. So the next time you think, I need more motivation, what you probably need is more discipline. And the good news, discipline is something you build, one small choice at a time. Now I'm going to talk about the motivation cycle. And I'm going to break this down with a simple little formula. First, action leads to progress. Then progress creates momentum. Motivation is then fueled by that momentum, and motivation helps you take more action. So I'm going to repeat that in a 4-step process. Action leads to progress. Progress creates momentum. Momentum fuels motivation. Motivation helps you take more action. That's the real motivation cycle. But none of it starts until you take that first action. So stop trying to feel ready. Stop waiting for the right mood. Take the step, even a small one, and then let the cycle work. Let me tell you about my personal experience. There's plenty of days I don't feel like doing what I know I need to do. There are days where my mind tells me to take it easy, push things to tomorrow, or just avoid the uncomfortable stuff. But I always remind myself, motivation is waiting on the other side of this action. So I move. And it's almost always true. Once I start, I feel better. Once I commit, the energy shows up. It's not about being a robot either. It's about understanding how to work with your psychology, not against it. You're not lazy, you're not broken. You just haven't trained yourself to move when it matters most. So let's bring this all together, okay? Motivation is not a lightning bolt. It's not something that magically appears when the stars align. It's a habit. It's a pattern. It's something you build by showing up over and over and over again, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, because that's when it matters the most. Okay, so let me leave you with a challenge, another challenge. What's one thing you've been putting off because you're waiting to feel motivated? Name it. I want you to post it in the community wall. I guess this is Facebook in 2007. The community wall. Anyways, name it. Now, what's the smallest possible action you could take today towards that thing? Maybe it's a text. Maybe it's 5 push-ups. Maybe it's 5 minutes of focus. Just 5. Maybe it's that finally that day you wanted to make 100 calls. Whatever it is, do it. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't negotiate with yourself. That's a big one for the overthinkers. Just take the step. Because when you do, you'll notice something. The motivation you've been waiting for, it shows up after you move. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.